So it's
Taylor, when are we going to go on our Skyrim adventure together?
Oh, what are you doing Sunday?
Nothing.
Then maybe we do Sunday.
I'll do Sunday.
That sounds fun.
I want to go on a explore. You got to get there early though, because you got to get you all like geared up, get your shit fixed, get it downloaded, get the mod installed, make it work.
I'll get there early. I'll text you.
I don't want to spend
Sunday morning.
I don't want to spend 3 hours getting it installed and then be mad when we begin our journey.
I have the game installed, and you said that the follow-up installation of mods and stuff was
it was pretty simple.
Like
you just
game installation is what took a while.
Yeah, there's nothing to it, so that'll be fun. I've been looking forward to that.
Will be fun. Have you decided what you're gonna solidify as your pick?
If we're just gonna do like the base game and not gonna add a bunch of nonsense, I'll probably be a mage. I'll probably be a magical man. I'll resist using a bow if I can, but that just seems like the meta. Or we could maybe introduce some mods that would open up some different play styles. I bet there's a mod that makes like being a swordsman work, or throwing daggers work, or makes magic level better, or something like that.
If you're going mage, I'll end up going archer, because I've said before, those are the two builds that I have the most fun with, and I've played Skyrim through enough. Like I've tried two-handed swordsman, two-handed axeman, all that shit. That is not fun.
No.
I've tried the sword and shield. That is not nearly as fun. Nope. The magic is fucking sick. The late game spells are so fun just to troll. Once your speech is super high and your alteration is really high, you can like walk into pubs and cast mass paralysis and paralyze everyone. And then like when they come to arrest you and everybody's yelling, trying to fight you, you just put your hands down, which is like your weapons away. And they'll be like, "You've committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What do you say in your defense?" And then you say like, "Oh shucks, gee willikers, my bad," in the persuade column. And they're like, "Don't let it happen again." Meanwhile, you're just paralyzing guards, pissing them off.
Maxing speech out is always fun in games. It's really fun in Fallout. The end of Fallout New Vegas, if you've got max speech, you just talk your way out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You just convince the enemy general that like he was wrong, and that he can't win this fight, and he should just go home. I'm pretty sure he just quits.
Yeah. Dude, I've ruined like any sort of story on my like level 110 character that I've had for years, that like every once in a while I'll pop. There's nothing to do on that character anymore, so I'll just pop in, look around, do whatever. And you're right. At this point, you can kill. I've killed every single guard in Whiterun, in Windhelm, in Riften, and I wait for like one more respawn guard to come up and be like, same line. "Stop. You've committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?" And you just say, "Oops," and that's it. Dead piled up everywhere, and you're off scot-free.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm hoping that modding it will maybe add some new story elements, maybe potentially, and that'll be fun to play it together. I don't know how exactly it works. I've watched some videos. Now my algorithm thinks that all I want to see is Skyrim, so every video is 10 things you didn't know about Skyrim.
Did you know them?
Most of them. You know, some of them. Little. There's a lot of like, if you go over here and chop the heads off these mannequins in the correct order, this happens.
Like the
I've been watching
chests in Dawnstar and all that you can get like beginning of the game.
I don't remember the names of anything. I do remember a glitch where you could go and find in the ground, like when you deal with a merchant, the way it's coded. When you deal with a merchant, the way it's coded is his inventory has to exist physically in the map. So they put it under the ground off to the side somewhere. But if you go there, you can access it. But you have to know to like look in this little pile of shit over on the ground where you would never, ever look. And you can just take his inventory of goods, and it's a lot of good stuff.
Like very beginning of the game, you can get high level shit, which I like never do when I play through, because I don't want to ruin the grind too much and the reward of getting to the next tier of weapons and damage. Like if you find something way too good way too early, it's like, this kind of.
I like that early part of the game where you're still like patchwork, like none of your shit matches yet. I like that about Tarkov too. Like early on in your Wife of Tarkov, you're like, "This is my good helmet. I killed a man at interchange and took it from him, and those are my good pants. Yeah, I found those in a ditch somewhere." And you're like, when you die, you're like, let me go find my second best helmet somewhere. Like you don't have access. You can't just go buy new ones of everything. You don't have access to any of that shit. So when you come along that rare little, oh, this is the best knife I've ever seen in the game, you like hang on to it for a little while.
Do you know if we can both get followers in Skyrim together?
I think
because I need my bitch boy follower to hold my loot.
We can have so many followers. Like there's a mod for Fallout called maybe unlimited followers or something like that. That just
let's not do that. That ruins the fun.
Well, you can bring a bunch of folks though. Like limit yourself, police yourself. But I think you could bring. I mean, you could bring the whole town if you wanted. I'm sure there's a mod where you bring every major character, like the whole Thieves Guild is with you or whatever. You can do all that shit. That's why I love those Bethesda games and the modding community around them. Even after you've played that game for thousands of hours and seemingly wrung all the fun out of it that there was to get, you can hop on there and there'll be a mod, especially for Fallout. Fallout's famous for those the bunk. What do they call the bunkers? The vaults. Yeah. It's famous for the vaults and how each one will have its own little self-contained story about the horrors that took place there. And as you delve deeper and deeper, level after level, you stumble upon evidences and that tell you the story of how everything went wrong down here. And so it's really easy to mod just a new one into the game, just somewhere in the desert where there was nothing. Now there's some bushes and an opening that leads to a vault, and so there's plenty of mods that do that in that game. And you can have these little self-contained additions to the storyline.
This is a little almost like a Skyrim version of palm reading. What quests do you always start with?
Oh, I haven't played the shit out of the game like you have. I played the game the most probably 10 years ago on Xbox. We called it a Skyrim adventure, where I would get just blazed out of my mind and play Skyrim. But I would mostly play absent-mindedly, and just wander.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
I have done playthroughs, I'm sure, where I've beaten the quest multiple times, probably 3 or 4. I'm cheesy, so I would just play a stealth archer almost every time, or a mage, and I do all the main quest lines. I would probably want to start with the Mages Guild or whatever, if I am a mage. And sometimes even when I think back to the story and the quests, I get completely confused with Oblivion because I played so much Oblivion, and they're very similar. So you
mixed up a little bit because they are similar games.
Yeah,
that's probably what we'd have to. I mean, that's always my first stop if I play a mage. Is you got to get the archmage robes and whatnot by finishing that whole quest. We'd probably have
the robes get you.
It's just like robes that you wear that like
more magic
better than anything else in the game. Like increases your magic or regen, increases your or decreases the cost of every single spell you cast. Increases.
By the way, Woody, you're more than welcome to join us on our adventure. What we're doing is modding Skyrim so that we can play a single player RPG together in a silly way, and just be overpowered and go through the
Thank you for the invite. I sincerely appreciate it. I'm loyal to Elden Ring.
I understand.
I'm having a hard time not talking about it right now.
Fiddlesticks.
It's my idea of like hitting it back and like, nobody, shut up with your Elden Ring.
I'm looking forward to your next game.
It blows my mind that you don't like Skyrim. It's so fun, man.
I'm hoping that your next game after Elden Ring is something that either me or Taylor can jump on board with you and play some together.
I don't know if that fits the bill.
What?
I've heard it.
I didn't catch that.
So lies of P, like lies like not untruths of P, which is short for Pinocchio. Apparently, it's a Souls-like game, and it's supposed to be amazing. And I got so Elden Ringed, like, I don't know, addicted, that Lies of P is perhaps the next best new thing around.
Oh yeah, I'm watching some gameplay. It's very similar.
Yeah. And but the graphics, I would argue, are even better. And it's supposed to be terrific, and everyone says it's great.
I got you.
Cool.
I don't have a game that I really want to play.
I started a new Elden Ring playthrough. I'll leave it alone. But
is it the 9th one? Is this the 9th one? Is this the final?
So the 8th one was the final. So I started a new character, and now I'm back to the early yeah. So what happened was my character got so powerful that when people summon me, only the most powerful people would summon me. And now I'm on the 8th playthrough monsters, and I'm helping people through, but no one's fucking helping. He summons 2 people now. When you summon someone for help, the boss gets tougher.
Yeah.
So here I am soloing this boss while these two lazy, scared fucks are hiding in the corner. And I'm like, I can't solo New Game 7 bosses with double summons by myself. Yet here I am. I succeed like a third of the time. And afterwards, I'm mad. I'm like, where were you guys the whole time? The whole time I soloed this thing for you. And I'm like, I'm going to start a new character, not level up so high, and be able to help newer players.
That's smart. That would be irritating as hell. It's like, you summoned me here, bitch, and you can't even soak some damage for me.
You're right. If someone else has the aggro of the boss, you can't keep me away. Oh my God, attack windows galore. When I have the aggro window of the boss, I'm still the only person hitting them. They're like, oh, I'm safe over here. Like, do you have at least a ranged weapon? You could try a little.
I would not have the patience for that.
Throw your knife.
You guys can go fuck yourself. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I want to play. I don't know. I want to play something that I can play with other people. I want to do something co-op, but I don't know what it is. Skyrim together should be fun, but I wish there was something new. I guess GTA is the next thing around the horizon. We keep saying that.
A little off though, right? Isn't it like?
Yeah, like next year, like probably the new zombies. That's a good point, Zach. If I could lure Taylor into some COD zombies, I've been watching some Call of Duty gameplay, just a little bit. The multiplayer isn't my cup of tea anymore for sure. And even the zombies, it's like, man, it always looks the same, and like right away, and this is a turnoff for me personally, right away, whatever gun that's the meta for zombies, or at least the one that I see in so many zombie clips, it looks like a clown cock. It like not literally, but it's like a pipe covered with multicolored attachments that make no sense, that doesn't even look like a gun. And it's like, really gotten away from our base here, boys. This is Call of Duty 22.
That's how many they're up to?
I think they've made one since 2003. Plus, like, I think they did COD Mobile and maybe like the big red one or something else like that counts as another one. So this is either 22 or 23 total.
Jeez, I used to be like, I turned my nose up at PvE games. Like, I don't pretend to be freaking XCal or whoever your perfect gamer is, but I'm too good for PvE. And now that I'm into it, I'm loving PvE.
When the AI is done well, it's incredibly challenging, and you get to play on your own time table, and it's always fair. Like, you don't mind getting your ass beaten when you know it was beaten fairly and squarely. But whenever there's that little bit of like, oh, but he caught me at that weird moment, I didn't get to prepare, or I think he might be cheating, or whatever, like that it gave the other person an unfair advantage, it's annoying and irking. But it feels good to like
fewer bugs too. Like, how many times did you load into Tarkov and you're like, oh my gosh, my character's not moving, I'm gonna get disconnected, I'm gonna try to I lost all my gear, and it's just network issues and stuff.
It's really punishing when it's they. So I read an article the other day, and it was about how the last generation of consoles in particular, like the I guess the Xbox One and maybe the PS4, like got every drop, or maybe the Xbox 360 got every drop of performance power, and that they could have not only at the consoles, but they also made games that were capable of getting every drop out of those consoles. And so the games from 12 years ago look just as good as the games today. Like, it requires a ton more hardware to play modern games, but they don't look any better. Like, if you look at Battlefield 1, oh my God, it looks like it should be the newest thing. Like, and that game's, it might be 10 years old. I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun. I think it might be 10 years old or something like that. It looks incredible. I think they've kind of plateaued on where they can go with graphics, or at least they've plateaued with AAA, the way AAA studios, make their games half-assed and throw them out there before they're perfected.
It seems like every time there's some wonderful new thing about graphics, the effect is really subtle, like ray tracing or something. Like what is so? Honestly, is the one on the right the new one?
Yeah. I wish you could find
reflections.
I wish you could find some footage of like the World War I, like when they're out in the mud and the muck and there's explosions going off and particles everywhere. Because Battlefield 1, like, it looks like a new game when you see those scenes. Yeah, I just don't see it. It's crazy.
I would argue the bottom one looks a lot better. Oh shit, that's the old one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to like get the full effect of it without watching a video. But
Yeah,
Battlefield 1 and the older Battlefields, and even like some of the older Call of Duties, they got every drop of performance out of those consoles. I just don't feel like they're doing that anymore because games aren't.
I saw the second one and I was like, okay, they have made progress, but then I picked the wrong one.
Yeah, no, you were right. The bottom one looked better. I would have.
You thought the same way?
Yeah,
okay.
for sure. I would have thought that was the new one.
Yeah, I don't think that Call of Duty looks better every year. They kind of plateaued maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and they all just kind of look like Call of Duty now.
I downloaded the new Call of Duty on my Xbox, just absentmindedly being like, oh, maybe I'll try the new zombies. And then I went to sign in, and it's like, log in with your COD account. And I was like, no. And so
you don't have a COD account?
I'm not going to make a Call of Duty account, so I uninstalled it. I'm not going to make a fucking account.
Forgive me as I Elden Ring once again. But when you load Elden Ring, don't press a button. You hit one button on your controller because it says continue and the game starts. And I'm like, oh my God, games should be like this.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go through past all the advertisements and microtransactions? There's none of that in Elden Ring. You start the game, press continue, it pops you right where you left off.
Oh my God.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Obviously I haven't played it, but I bet the home screen for the new Call of Duty it's so hard to just play the goddamn game. I bet you've got to click 3 or 4 buttons and go through a menu. I'm picturing back to like COD 4 and that very simple little menu on that gray background.
Multiplayer. Team deathmatch.
It was like boom, 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 and then you're searching. And then like now I bet it's like boom, 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 boom. Oh, I bought a hat. Shit.
The Xbox itself is the default screen, like when you turn it on a store or something like that. Like, it's not the game I want.
There's gonna be there's gonna be at least a whole page of stores. Every game's got a goddamn gigantic store within it. And it's I don't know. I guess that's how you pay for games now. I guess $70 a copy doesn't do the trick. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I like games that don't have microtransactions, but then when I play a game that introduces them, I'm usually like, yeah, I want that helmet. What is it, $3? But I can only buy $10 of credits at a time. What do I do with? Well, there'll be something that's 7 credits, right? Never again. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna need some more credits then.
What is the lowest common denominator on these 2 forms of currencies?
That costs 2,500 gems, but the package I bought is a 2,300 package.
They did that, dude. That's what they did on Darktide, and people complained so much that they introduced a less predatory indoor store. The packets you could buy the credits in, and like the limited time amount that you had to spend them was like crazy. Now I'm buying. I bought like $50 worth of credits because I don't care. I wanted all the cool shit. But if you only had $10 worth of credits, you'd be like, but wait, I don't have enough credits to buy anything now. But that's still like $4 worth of credits. Oh, buy more. Okay.
Games have not.
You buy a little more, and you're at the same point again. You've always got like
you've always got a little
on your account,
couple extra gems or whatever the fuck quasi
super predatory. It's a shitty.
It is unbelievably predatory, and games like they're getting bold with it because games have not gotten better at the rate that they've gotten more expensive and microtransaction-y. Like it's not like the games from. It's not like Call of Duty right now is way better than COD 4.
No,
it's not. It's arguably worse. Yeah, and
they started coming with fewer maps. No, used to be they'd have 16 maps on day one.
And now you need like DLC for it.
It's fewer maps. They spread them out, but including the zombies does make it more of a game. But but still.
Oh, there's 16 now in the.
But as far as the 2 modern games that blow everything else away are Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate, though. Like those 2 set the bar to a just completely different level. For both of their styles.
I looked into Baldur's Gate for just like what's after Elden Ring type thing. And that game apparently is sexy as fuck. Like I read that like every character in it is super horny, and I'm like, all right, let's deep dive into this. So you see that you played it, right?
Many times.
Characters are blowing guys are blowing guys, girls are going down on girls. I saw a girl fucking another girl, but the first girl had a penis. But I'm telling you, everything about her was girl, except for the cat parts.
Oh yeah,
and she's like holding her dick as she fucks the other character.
Yeah,
like this is a AAA game. Dude. So someone put together all the sex scenes in this one like mega cut compilation. It was a 2-hour video, Kyle. A 2-hour video.
I believe it.
Scene.
It is an incredible game. Like the combat takes a little bit to get used to because at first it's a top-down sort of third-person viewpoint that you're running your group around with, but when you go into combat, it turns into turn-based, where each of your party takes turns and the enemy party takes turns based on a bunch of factors. But then you employ like Dungeons and Dragons rules, and you roll literal dice roll on the screen when you do attacks to determine how effective or if they miss and such. But the RPG elements are what you're talking about. The ability to I don't think I put a dick on my first character, but later on I had like a girl with a dick. Like because when you're making your character, they're completely nude on the screen with either a penis and balls or a vagina, like a vulva, like completely nude.
You see it. Okay.
Everything. And there's like 3 or 4 cocks and 3 or 4 pussies that you get to choose from. And as you scroll between them, like click, 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 instantly your character grows a dick and loses a dick, and it's hilarious. So
is there an animation, or does it just click on and off?
It just happens. They just suddenly have a penis there or whatever. But yeah, the sex happens a lot. You have this party of 3 or 4 guys and gals who are all bisexual, and one of them can turn into animals because he's a druid, and so he'll turn into a bear and fuck you as a bear if you want. And he's like chill about it. He's like, I'll be a bear and all. It's a lot to handle. And you're like, oh, I got this. It's
you get fucked by a bear, Kyle.
I either fuck. I don't know from a top to bottom for the bear. I'm a girl, so I guess the bear fucked me. Yeah,
I'm a girl. Elden Ring.
I tell everybody
girls
that's the best game I've ever played.
But when she gets hit, I don't like her scream. I'm like, shut up, cunt! Get up! He's gonna hit you. Get up!
You stupid bitch!
I consider it a one shot if I get hit, and I never controlled my character again on all the subsequent hits.
Yeah,
I got
juggle
one
you.
shot killed.
Yeah, where they just chain hits into you until that is what's frustrating about that game.
Yeah, I played through Baldur's Gate at least 3 or 4 times, and then modded it and played it a bit, and then watched my girlfriend play it and like coached her, and that's my favorite game of all time. That is the best, deepest. Like, it was so crazy that I beat the game and then immediately started a new playthrough, and it's a different game. The second time you play through it, I mean, it's the same game. Don't get me wrong, but like the elements are all different when you play them differently. And if you kill a character early, now you don't get his storyline anymore. And I kind of like that. I'm like, oh shit, little Dwindle isn't here. We forgot to save him. Fuck.
Little Dwindle. Is that a name?
There's a part where you come upon this little gnome, and he's been tied to a windmill. Like he's tied to one of the blades of it, and it's spinning, and he's screaming for mercy. And there's these goblin men like laughing at him. They've tied him to it. And after you either convince the goblin men to leave, or you kill them all, now the little fella tied to the windmill is at your mercy, and you'll find that you can either untie him like right away, or if you go inside the windmill, there's a big handle where you can unleash the full power of the windmill, because guess what? This thing's on low. And if you do that, he goes so fast, he flies off at the pinnacle and goes, ah! And like flies way off and dies. It took me forever to find his body, but now he's not in the story anymore, and he's kind of a main character. Like if he lived, you were going to get to meet his family and his friends, and he was going to have his own storyline and ending. But if you don't save little Dweedledee or whatever that's tied to the thing, he's just not in the story anymore. And I dig that a lot. And I love the Dungeons and Dragons like rolling of the dice thing, where sometimes you'll take a chance. You're like, Jesus, there's a 5% chance I win this. Roll them, and you'll hit it. And it's a big and it's like you won like a slot machine or something. So Baldur's Gate, best game ever.
You've said that.
Best game ever. I wish the multiplayer was easier and less clunky. It's kind of hard to do multiplayer in that game.
I bought what is the Tarkov I bought? End of Darkness? Edge of Darkness,
yeah.
Does it come with the BE that you played?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I highly recommend that for like just killing time and shooting the shit, because like it's so fun to just beat the bots and have a good time in that game and do the little grind that it is. I'm level 65 or something. I'm done now.
That is super high audience.
Yeah, I've grinded my heart out. Like there's no more for me to do. I've done all I've unlocked all of Lightkeeper.
Is Lightkeeper cool? Does anything good happen? Like that?
So
does he sell interesting things?
I thought that he sold things. I thought that once you did all of his missions, he unlocked as like a trader on your screen with the rest of them, but he doesn't. Mm-hmm. He unlocks items that are available at the other traders' screens.
Oh.
While he does appear in the game, you go to the map lighthouse and you go out to the titular lighthouse and you meet with him on these brief little meetings where he assigns you missions. Like once that's over, that's just kind of over and there's no more use for him that I've found. So it was dumb. You do get access to like the 3 end game items in Tarkov. You get there's a level 4 mask you can wear that doesn't obscure your vision or give you any breathing noises, and it covers your whole face with level 4. And then the SIG 6.8 rifle, which is the best rifle in the game, and its 25 round magazines are both locked behind a Lightkeeper quest. Yeah. So I'm done with Tarkov. I need a new game. I'm hoping that Skyrim, like I said, was fun with Taylor.